When I'm up through the night, I can't turn down the noise, tear all the worries out of my mind. About who I'm supposed to be, I start to believe.
What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Huntington Beach in Bay Village, Ohio. If you've been watching me for a while, you've seen me film here before. I just like to come back here every time I'm home seeing my parents because they used to come here all the time growing up as a kid. Anyways, it's been about a year and a half now since I moved out of my parents' house and got my own apartment in Atlanta. It's been an absolutely crazy ride. I've gone through a lot of good things and bad things since separating myself from my family and taking on this world by myself as an adult. So here's the brutally honest reality of what it's like moving out of your parents' house for the very first time and why you gotta do it too. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna start with the good, and then the better, and then the bad, and then the worst. So the good thing about moving out is that I'm now independent. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. You know that saying your parents always told you growing up, when you live under my roof, you live by my rules? Well, now that I'm paying for my own roof, I make my own rules. I wake up when I want, I take out the trash when I want, I do the dishes when I want. I have no one on me telling me what to do, anything really. If I'm going out on the weekend with some friends, I don't need to tell them what I'm doing. If I wanna go drop money on Atlanta United soccer season tickets, I can go do that without asking anyone since it's my own money. And by the way, that's something I'm looking into right now. There's something about having complete freedom over your life for the very first time that makes moving out such a great feeling. Every parent wants their kid to grow up and be nice people, do great things, change the world, etc. So each parent raises their kids how they see fit so their kids grow up to do those things. When you become an adult and move out, you can take what your parents taught you and choose whether or not to listen to them. I think my parents raised me really well, so to this day I still do a lot of the things that they taught me. But if you become an adult and start thinking, man, my parents were idiots, none of what they told me is actually what the real world is like, then you have the choice to not listen to them as well and form your own life however you see fit. I think both sides of that are worthwhile, and that's always something you get to experience and choose to have in your life once you move out. Now here's what's even better. I'm now an active, functioning adult of society. I make my own money, I pay my own bills. I'm not a kid anymore. Most importantly, I'm providing for myself now. And growing up living with your parents is great to have your mom's home cooked meals, which is better than every meal I've ever tried to make and any fast food I've ever bought. And plus you always had, you know, clean laundry magically appear on your bed. Growing up, if you needed a couple extra dollars to go out and do whatever, you know, you got it from your parents. For example, growing up when I would take girls out on dates, I would ask my dad for like 20 or 40 bucks or whatever just to cover my dinner. So of course now I no longer need to do that. I have my own job, I make my own money, I pay my own bills, I buy my own shit, and all of that together holds value in learning how this world actually operates. In this life, it's just you. You can't rely on anyone else to help push you through, especially your parents, because unfortunately they won't always be there. Moving out and living on your own teaches and encourages you to get your life together, while of course having the support of your parents while they're still around. But while you're doing this, you're making your own decisions and make your own impact on society. I think that's what's even better about moving out than just not doing the dishes whenever you don't want to. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Last year, before Skylar moved in, there was a point in time where I waited too long. I won't tell you the specific time period because it was way too long where I didn't do the dishes. And because I waited so long, it started stinking up my entire apartment, and I had to open up the windows in the middle of winter just to let the smell out from the dishes because I didn't do them. I learned my lesson. You start making your own decisions, you start making your own impact on the world based on those decisions you make. And those decisions you make are based on your own actions because now you have your own job, you're paying your own bills, you're buying your own stuff. It's just you guiding yourself through this world. So I hope all that made sense so far. Now let's talk about the bad things and what I've had to go through after moving out, because believe me, it has not been all that great. Alright, that was a close one. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I've crashed my drone into 2 trees and no skyscrapers. So I've been living in downtown Atlanta for a year and a half, haven't hit any buildings whatsoever. I come home to Cleveland, I've already crashed one into a tree here. Had to replace it. So this is the second drone I've gotten. I just now crashed into another tree. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. I noticed it right as it hit the tree. I was able to bring it back out, and I don't think there's any damage, but we'll have to take another look. All right, let's move on. All right, me and Scott are actually here at Dave & Buster's, but before we head in, let me tell you what the worst part is, or I guess not the worst part. One of the bad things is that my mom is no longer there to take care of me. So if I want to clean apartments, I need to clean that thing myself. If I want to eat, I need to go cook or spend the money to buy food. If I'm feeling really sick, I need to drive myself to the hospital. No longer are the days where your parents would come with you to sit in the doctor's office. Haven't done that in years. And just for example, 2 weeks ago, I rolled onto my new health insurance, my own plan. I rolled off my parents' health insurance plan for the first time. So I don't know the exact rules, so fact check me. I think you can stay on your parents' plan until you're 25 or 26, but I decided to get my own for the year 2023. So there was a crazy amount of back and forth between my new insurance company, my old insurance company, my insurance agent I'm working with, and all my doctors and dentists in both Ohio and Georgia, which of course was all done by me. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, of course, when you move out, everything becomes more complicated. You gotta start doing everything by yourself. Yes, obviously, but you don't realize the extent of what all you gotta do until you move out. There's so much I gotta do every single week to stay on top of everything when it comes to chores within the house, getting groceries and other household necessities, doing my work duties, also changing my insurances and mailing addresses. I guarantee you there's 5 or 10 other things I can't even think of right now that I do every single week, and if I don't do them, I'll fall behind on something. When you move out, you learn, and you learn quick, that there's so many little things that creep up on you that half of them you can't even be prepared for. So get ready for that. Moving out is very, very difficult, and of course you know that going into it, but you don't know how difficult it actually gets to be until you do it. All right, let me tell you what's even worse, and that's cost of living, especially for newish college grads, is through the roof. Inflation in the last couple of years has been out of sight, and that's especially seen with rent. Take Midtown Atlanta, for example. So when I first found out I'd be moving to Atlanta after college for work was in the summer of 2020 approximately. So I remember going online on Zillow looking for 1-bedroom apartments, and at that time they're going for anywhere between $1,500 to $1,700 for a nice 1-bedroom in a nice, decently upscale complex. Now you're lucky if you can get any 1-bedroom under about $2 grand. Not just rent, but auto insurance is up for younger people as well. I don't even want to tell you what my auto insurance is, plus gas, of course, in the last year almost hit damn near $5. My new health insurance is going to mean extra few $100 a month out of my pockets, and all of these costs are with me and Skylar just sharing one car between the two of us. So right now we just drive the one car I had before, and I'm looking into buying a second one right now, not because I want a second car, but because with our schedules, both of us are getting busier. We are going to need a second car eventually, which adds on more insurance and more gas on top of the other car payment. It is incredibly expensive to live on your own in 2022, 2023. Do your own research, but I just saw a study not so long ago that said the rate at which younger people are moving back into the parents' house temporarily is near or at the all-time high, because people are like, screw that, I'm not paying $2 grand a month for an apartment, and I don't blame them. So it wouldn't be out of the question for me either if I decided to, between leases, go live with my parents for 2 months or so just to save up some extra cash. It is incredibly expensive, and you will feel like you're blowing an insane amount of money when you could be saving multiple $1,000s a month if you were to just stay at home with your parents. But if I could do it all over again, would I still move out when I did? Absolutely, because it forced me to figure out how to make more money, become a better person, mature, juggle multiple things at once, and learn how to be a functioning adult in today's society. You gotta move out eventually, so I think one of these days, if you're thinking about moving out, just do it. Just take that first step, assuming you can afford it. Get your new apartment, figure everything out as you go, and you should, over time, really level up, develop yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, everything else involved, and hopefully, if you keep yourself afloat financially, it'll all pay off in the long run.
Child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your
Alright, we just saw the new kind of sci-fi horror movie called Megan, and I would give that a solid 8.75 out of 10. That was really freaking good. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, plus the entire plot was just pretty interesting and something different than the normal kind of movies. What would you give it out of 10, Skylar?
Probably an 8.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, highly recommend. Go see it. It's something else. And we haven't been to the movies in such a long time. Movies to this day is my favorite date to do. Look at those birds shit in my car. Oh my god, I think a whole flock of birds attacked my car because that is ridiculous. Speedway literally just turned the lights off on us, so I better get out of here. I'm gonna wrap up the video right here, right now. Hope you enjoyed another video today, guys. Next week I'm going back to Atlanta, so next video will be back from there. I like seeing my family, visiting them all the time. I was here for actually 3 weeks by the time next week's video goes up. So fortunately I have a job where I can work from wherever, so I can see my family more often than the average person probably does when they move away. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop me a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel because I drop a new video every single Monday that you don't want to miss. See you next Monday.